Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Today I'm reviewing the new cigar from Christian Corojo, and you will remember that name from Camacho. Christian and his family owned the Camacho brand, and he and his father did very well with that brand. In 2008, they sold it to the Davidoff Group. So Christian remained in charge of overseeing everything, but he sat around and decided that he wanted to get back in head his own cigar again, and sort of inspired by the phrase, what would you do if you did it over again? So he did it over again, and he created the CLE brand, which are actually his initials. And today we're reviewing the CLE Corojo. It is 5x50. Now, if you'll notice on the band, you see CLE Corojo and 2012. Now, Christian believes that just like wine, tobacco can change every year. I agree. So every year or every production will have the year. And this is the 2012 CLE Corojo. Looks nice, a little bumpy here and there, but when you mention the words Camacho and Corojo in the same phrase, it gets your attention. So let's see how it is today. Well, as you can see, I moved ahead through the miracle of video. Actually, I made a boo-boo. But I have lit the cigar. The draw is great. And the initial flavors are as follows. You get a lot of earth, right? The very first thing you get when you light the cigar was earth, a cedar cinnamon mix with some underlying cream notes, pepper at about a 6. Those are your initial flavors. Now that I've had time for it to burn about a 1/4 inch, those flavors are still consistent. There is a toasted nut on the finish, a little cream, but there's a toasted nut also there, some sort of a toasted nut, and just a touch of lingering pepper. Christian is also going to experiment with different strengths. Not everything will be full-bodied. Some will be, and this cigar should be, we'll see how it is, should end up about medium. So we'll see. But those are your initial flavors, and what you'll get just a few minutes after it comes into its own. So let's see what happens from this point. Well, what would you call that? 3/4 of an inch? And there's some richness coming in now. So the cedar and cinnamon combination is showing some richness. There are also some wood notes for popping in here on the front end. The earth notes are sort of subdued. They've come down a lot. They are still there. But the first thing you get now is the nice sweet cedar and rich cedar and cinnamon combination. I would still keep the pepper at about a 6. If there was such a thing, 6.5 maybe. It's not quite 7. And this is an all Honduran cigar, Honduran Corojo. Christian will be using other tobaccos from other regions, Nicaragua and what have you, in some future productions. Ash, very dark, salt and pepper. Maybe more pepper than salt, but it's definitely a salt and pepper ash. So it's going along nicely. It is right now what I'd call medium. Not your typical blast you down Corojo, but very tasty, very nice, sweet, rich. Richness, if I were to put that on a scale, and I like rich cigars. This is about a 6 out of 10. Okay, so that'll give you where we are. Well, roughly an inch and a half in, and the flavors are continue to morph, continue to change. Now your primary flavors are a rich cedar with butterscotch notes and wood. It's very, the richness is building, but the richness of the cedar has a butterscotch-like flavor to it also. Very rich, buttery, very nice, very pleasing. The finish is a very sweet cream now. Straight sweet cream and some nice lingering pepper. Very nice lingering pepper actually. So the cigar is making some nice changes. Changes for the better. That's where we are. Inch and a half in, plus or minus. Really wanted to come back to show you how tight that ash is. Look at that. We're approaching the midpoint and the ash has not fallen yet. Impressive. Now the pepper is ticked up a notch. It is about a 7 now, and everything else is about the same. Very nice notes on the front end. Still very buttery cedar. Not much else has changed at this point. That's impressive. We are very close to the midpoint, and that ash is still hanging in there. Now, something has transitioned that I noticed in the first one I had one before this review. About this point, the cedar is starting to have some black cherry notes attached to them. Still sweet, still rich, but it's a black cherry flavor, and so it's still somewhat buttery. So let's forget butterscotch. Let's go with a buttery black cherry cedar. Wow. That has got to be a candidate for a long ash contest, folks, and it's doing fine. But nice notes. Thought I'd tell you about the black cherry. Let's see how long that ash can go. Well, I'm down to the band, and is it a testament to how even it's burning? Look at that. Look at that. As you can see, the ash did fall off shortly after I left you last segment. The flavors are still about the same. I will remove the band now, show you that later. You could add coffee notes in there too. That coffee is sort of a staple to most decent cigars, and this is way above a decent cigar, but the flavors right now are still that rich, sweet, cedar, black cherry combination. The earth notes have totally gone away, which is okay with me. But you have the coffee notes now. You can notice those. And there's still some butteriness to those sweet notes. Finish still the same. Nice, sweet, thick cream. And some lingering pepper. So the cigar is still medium bodied. All right, it hasn't changed in that regard. So it won't be long. I'll be back here shortly to wrap it up. But the cigar is very good. So we're down to the end. So let's wrap it up. Flavors here at the end. You still have that sweet cedar and black cherry combination. Not as rich as it was at all. Not the richness is all but gone, but it's still nice and sweet. Coffee and wood. And the pepper did remain at about a 7. Finish remained a sweet cream and nice lingering pepper. Very good cigar. First cigar I've tried from Christian's new venture. And I can tell you this, it ended up medium body. I can tell you this about it, it's very good, and he's got his act together again. It's not very hard for him. He's been doing it all his life. That's about all the notes on the cigar. It's very good. It had periods of richness, many different flavor changes. Enjoyed the cigar a lot. Should be able to find these on shelves. For that, everything that I've told you, for those reasons, I'm giving it a score of 92. Very good cigar, and I commend Christian for his efforts. The CLE Corojo Robusto, 92.